quickly, on the elections coming up, will this be the first time, can we expect Manchester to elect a Conservative councillor for the first time in over a decade?
I don't know, I hope so, but I'm not making any... I've been in politics too long to make predictions about election results, but...
Does it matter that you haven't had a Conservative elected in a city the size of Manchester?
Oh yeah, of course that matters. There are, of course, now many more local authorities with no Labour representation than there are with no Conservative representation. Many, many more. Even in the north of England. And in Greater Manchester we have very strong Conservative representation in many other authorities. But would we like to get elected representatives back on the City Council? Of course we would.
It's not a Greater Manchester issue, it's not well, it is a Manchester issue, but the question is no longer are the Tories the party of the north or the northwest, is it? It's are they the party of the inner cities and the city centre?
Yeah, I think that's true actually, yes, that is right, because we've made big gains in last year's local elections in the north, in Blackpool, Chester, South Ribble, East Riding of Yorkshire and so on. But not so much yet in the actual inner cities. But we are really working on it, full slates of candidates in Manchester and Liverpool. A candidate like Rob here who's really working very hard on this ward in the centre of Manchester.
Because I guess Labour, there are areas Labour will never probably have a realistic chance of getting people elected, and they don't seem to work those areas. The shires or whatever.
They don't. There are no Labour councillors in my constituency, and the Labour Party has virtually disappeared, which is in the north of England, in North Yorkshire, and there are none of them at all. And you're right, they're not really... I don't see them setting out to re-establish themselves at the moment. But we are trying. I think we should get the credit for trying. We're not having no-go areas for Conservatives. And I think we're much nearer to cracking that now, but we'll pronounce victory when it happens.
So people might ask why. It seems like a lot of effort for potentially...
There are very important reasons. Well, lots of reasons. First of all, because it's important to be a national party. And that's part of being in touch with people throughout the country, because, of course, when you get all your councillors together at a national conference, you don't want cities to be missed out of that. So it's part of a party being in tune with towns and cities across Britain to have representation from them. And also, it's from the little acorns of gaining the first few seats that you find in some succeeding year you're running the council. It's amazing how quickly those things turn around once a breakthrough is made. So it's always important to try.
And just two final quick questions on the national scene. Could May the 1st be the beginning of the end for Gordon Brown? Would you like it to be the beginning of the end?
Oh, I think we're past the beginning of the end. I think we're now in the middle of the end. The beginning of the end was his failure to call the election that he had planned last October. And the next instalment was the budget, which showed that their economic policy had come adrift. So I think we're already approaching the middle of the end.
Do you expect his party to stick the knife in?
Whoops. I don't know whether that will leave them to their own internal devices. No, I think they're welcome to keep him until the general election. So we're not calling for him to go, but we do wish he would call that general election and let the people have their say.
Just finally, if I can ask, what's David Cameron doing right that you didn't do right?
Oh, lots. He's a really good all-round communicator, I think better than me. He's learnt, as we've all learnt from mistakes we made in the past, from the need to advance on a broad front, really. He's also got the opportunity to do that, which we didn't necessarily have before.
Do you look at him and think, I wish I'd have done some of the things he's doing?
No. It's a different situation 2 parliaments on. Obviously a much bigger opportunity in the third term of a Labour government that's now perceived rightly as failing the country. But no, I don't have any of that. I was glad I did the job, but I was glad I gave it up, and I'm really glad he's doing it. And I only came back to the front line of politics really to help him, and because I could see when he became the leader that we could get it all together. So I don't look backwards at all on these things.
Terrific. Thanks very much for your time.
Okay, thanks a lot.